And we're back here, Home Track Heroes, final segment here from this gorgeous Saturday afternoon at Evergreen Speedway. Thanks so much to all you people who have been sending us the nice words of support, and we're sure glad that we can pull this off and bring it to you. This segment is going to be brought to you by the Washington Lottery, their Quick Pick Bundle. 3 big games, 1 easy button. Washington's Lottery has contributed over $167 million to education benefiting schools and students. So thank you so much to the Washington Lottery for being a part of Home Track Heroes here on CW11. Jeff Knight with a good move around the 98 of Greg Bennett as Tyson Lang with Chad Fitzpatrick making his way up through the field and see if he can take care of that pesky number 18 car as they go down the backstretch here. 40 laps to go to make up the 75-lap distance for the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late models here on a tailor-made night for this type of racing. Pro Late models here at Evergreen Speedway.
You're right. In the 12 car, Chad Fitzpatrick, you can watch his movement. He's placed that car inside, outside, kind of trying to get an idea of maybe where he is just a tick better than Tyson Lang, which right now Lang's in a class by himself, but Fitzpatrick's still thinking later in this race, where can I take advantage of the youngster and maybe pick up my second win in a row. So keep an eye on that 12 car. Darrell Reddick, after having a real bad corner, has worked his way back up in the third. Daniel Moore sliding back to the fourth spot. And Jeff Knight in the top 5 again after going to the back for a spin.
Yeah, I was going to mention I'm really impressed with the job that Jeff has done behind the wheel of that number 70 car as he spun earlier in the race like Tom mentioned, and has just been patient and done a nice job getting back up into the 5th spot here as Tyson Lang is still leading this one with a charge hopefully coming up here pretty quick by Chad Fitzpatrick. Otherwise, this could be a long one watching that 18 make its way around here. 40 laps are now in the book and 35 to go for our Pro Late models here at Evergreen.
Well, if you're running back there in about the 3rd to the 5th spot, your spotter's probably telling you, hey, listen, no problem. We got a lot of time. 35 more laps. The driver's in the car going, oh, boy, just what I want. 35 more laps. But that's part of the job of that spotter is to keep that guy up on the wheel and doing what you need to do, giving those things of encouragement. Sometimes there's just not a lot you can say.
Right.
You know, but you look at it and you're, okay, close enough, you know, or you, at some point you come up with a joke, a story. You don't do that under green, but sometimes under yellow I like to tell a little joke or a story. One of my favorite lines I stole from Tony Stewart was, you know, when your car's coming up on that leader and gaining, it's like, here, kitty, 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 yeah, we're coming. You know, so you do a lot of things to try and keep your driver in the game, head happy, you know, and doing the best job he can for the remainder of this event.
Pretty much an equal distance spacing between all of our competitors. We still have 11 cars, I believe, out on the track. No, it looks like Dan Beecher's had to pull the 70 car back into the pits, and he will come out and battle another day. But up front, it is still Tyson Lang, followed by Chad Fitzpatrick. Dario Reddick has moved up into the 3rd spot. Daniel Moore in 4th, as we've got a couple of cars spinning down there. Rick Dees is one of them, and the other one is the 12B of Michael Brooks. So we'll get that thing cleaned up here real quick. That'll give us a chance, like we always do, to thank all of the people that we can't go racing with. Our friends from the Cascade Push Trucks, our pit workers here that come in and get these guys lined up and these gals lined up and getting them in the right spot, and the EMTs and track personnel that come out and do this every week. Couldn't do it without them. So thanks a lot, you guys. It really means a lot to be able to be a part of what we're doing here on Home Track Heroes, doing the best we can. Can't wait to get you guys back up into the grandstands. That is just going to be one of the coolest days ever when we can finally do that. So we'll just keep hoping, and you guys will get back up here. All right, here we go. We're going to get them lined back up. 30 laps to go when they come across the start-finish line, and it is Tyson Lang and Chad Fitzpatrick setting battle into one.
A good restart by both of that cars in the front row. Lang right now just a little bit behind Fitzpatrick, trying to work that car. He'll drive it in deep, deep, deep into turn 3 as they come off turn 4, and he's waiting for that radio to come on, to click on, and hoping that the words will be clear, clear, clear so he can head down. But right now, Tyson Lang hanging tough inside in that 18 car, making Fitzpatrick's job a little bit harder.
Jeff Knight now has gotten into that 4th spot as the battle up front still continued side by side. Chad Fitzpatrick up on the outside, Tyson Lang in that white number 18 with J&R Truck Rentals on the hood on that. Everett Mazda on the rear quarter panel of the 12C of Chad Fitzpatrick now, as these two youngsters having a blast. Dario Reddick getting up into the mix too. But a great move off at turn number 4, and that will put Chad Fitzpatrick in the lead over the 18 of Lang.
Like I say, those favorite words of a driver, clear.
Yeah.
And then the other one is, we have a new leader. And that's, your driver just loves to hear that. But right now, Lang hanging very, very tough on that car. Fitzpatrick running a little bit of a high line through 3 and 4 that last lap, opening that door up for Lang to take a move on him.
I don't think anybody in any class, this season especially, has done a better job of working their way through traffic than Chad Fitzpatrick has this year. There is just something that clicked inside that young man that just, he really does. He's so patient, although sometimes it doesn't look like it. But Chad has just developed a wisdom to him, a patience level, and he's done a masterful job getting through traffic. There was, I think, the first race that he won in, he had to end up going to the back and working his way through the entire field, and it started at the midpoint and just really did a nice job here, and his results are showing for it, and so cool to see.
Well, the top 3 drivers, there's not a ton of experience, and those guys are not doing anything that they shouldn't be doing. They are taking very, very good care of their equipment, good care of their tires. I mean, Fitzpatrick, Lang, Reddick, not a lot of experience there, but it's not showing.
And it's going to be a good opportunity for Tyson Lang to maybe follow Chad around a bit. He'll give him a little bit of a chance to think. We were informed during the commercial break that it's Lane Sunholm that's doing the spotting for Tyson Lang. And he could be dispensing the advice, saying now you're going to figure out a way to get around him because you're just going to have one shot. Great battle here with Wyatt Gardner and Greg Bennett. Bennett on the outside, Wyatt Gardner in that 3 car down on the inside. Dawson Cox having a nice solid run as he is currently in position number 7.
Gardner earlier in the day said a line that I've heard from Pete Harding, one of the most successful drivers in the history of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And Pete always said, if you can win on the 3/8 at Evergreen Speedway, you can win just about anywhere in the country. And it was interesting to hear Gardner echo those exact same words. And when you look back over the history of racing in the Pacific Northwest, people who've been successful on that racetrack right there have been very, very successful anywhere they go.
Yeah, very well put. 20 laps to go for our Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late models out here on Home Track Heroes, show number 9. It's been so much fun to be able to be a part of this, and look forward to wrapping up the rest of the season with you, as Chad Fitzpatrick now really got a nice run off at turn number 4, picked up a couple car lengths that lap, as looking at 17.286 on that lap to a 17.298 for Lang. So just that little bit of improvement that Chad has found is really paying dividends so far, as we're getting down to the latter part of this main event.
One of the drivers we haven't said much about tonight is in the 6th spot. That's Dawson Cox, that 7D car. Dawson has, a couple races of experience in this particular type of race car. Has moved up through the ranks, doing a great job today.
Yes.
Sometimes,
whoa, we've got a car looking that way coming at you. The 12B
sometimes when we don't mention you, you're having a great day. And right now, the 12B of Michael Brooks getting some great camera time.
All right, he had to make it back up. So this is how it's been going. It has been pretty, for the early on, it was Tyson Lang just putting on a clinic. And the car, I don't know, it's hard to say what happened. Chad improved a lot. Maybe something kind of went away on the 18 of Lang. Who knows? But this restart is going to be one to watch, because could determine who's going to win this race.
With just 16 laps to go, it's go time. Show what you've got, or don't make the podium. But it's been a pretty darn good race. And like I said, the veterans are still, they've got to have to step it up if they don't want to lose
Don't wanna
another
get
one to the
schooled
kids.
by the young boys. And look at
Thank
that
you.
restart by Chad Fitzpatrick. Holy cow. I think maybe the 18 might have spun his tires a little bit as they came out of turn number 4, but a great restart by Chad Fitzpatrick in the 12. Tyson Lang, Dario Reddick in positions 1, 2, 3. Daniel Moore still hanging in there in that top 5 as he's in 4th spot. Jeff Knight continues to impress in the car number 70. Dawson Cox, like Tom mentioned, hanging in there in the 7D.
Well, Steve, and you know, Fitzpatrick has a little bit more experience than Tyson, and he may have just played a little bit of a game right there, because drivers have been known. I mean, I love drivers who are good on restarts, and a good driver will never show you the same restart twice in the same night.
Very good point.
You know, pick up the throttle in a different spot, burp it a little bit, you know, whatever you need to do, twitch that wheel just a little, something to make every restart just a little bit different, and try and catch that guy off guard. And that's, you know, it appears what happened right there with Fitzpatrick over Lang in the 18 car.
It's called snookering, isn't it?
It's called education.
There you go. Education, snookering.
Exactly.
Well done by Chad Fitzpatrick, as he is now out by about 7 to 10 car lengths over the 18 of Tyson Lang, as we are getting pretty close to shutdown time here. We'll have 11 laps to go right now. Chad Fitzpatrick under the watchful eye of John Peterson up in the flag stand. Daniel Moore taking a look down on the inside as they were coming out of turn number 2, trying to get underneath the 37 of Reddick. And boy, I just cannot say enough about how impressed I am with Dario Reddick in that 37D car as we go back inside with Dawson Cox.
Well, and if you look at the times, these tires are staying very, very consistent.
Yes.
Because they were running 17.1, 17.2s early in this race. You look right now, 17.2, 17.3s. So a tenth of a second, you know, when you're 65 laps in, that's not much of a drop off.
No, that's pretty impressive as we continue to watch Dawson Cox here as he is sawing away at that steering wheel. I'm just really...
A little bit of a loose condition. You can see him turning back to the right. So that means that back end of that car is trying to get out from underneath him, not staying underneath.
Chad Fitzpatrick now by about 10 car lengths, and then an equal length back to the 37 car of Dario Reddick as the 6 laps to go when they come across the line next time. Chad Fitzpatrick in that beautiful orange number 12 car. Has been his number since quarter midget days. Hard to believe that we first met Chad when he was running quarter midgets out at Payne Field. And his dad has been racing out here late models forever. And that whole Fitzpatrick family is just really, you know, this is such a family-driven sport. We've been talking about that all season long. 5 to go. You can see him pointing it out right there to the field as they go underneath the flag stand. But, you know, if you ever need a definition of a family that races stock cars together, the Fitzpatricks, the Langs, the Reddicks, the Moores, all of them, that doesn't matter what class, that's kind of the key component out here.
Right now, the spotter for Fitzpatrick is probably talking to him. I want 4 good ones. I want 4 of the best you have. Hit your marks. Make sure they are perfect laps. You don't want them starting to think about wins. You don't want them hearing noises out of the race car.
Right.
You know, you want them only thinking about hitting that mark down in turn 1, down in turn 3, and bring that thing back around as you're starting to run out of laps with just about 2 laps to go as he crosses the stripe right now.
And here we go down into turn number 1 with Tyson Lang. Maybe picked up a few car lengths that lap as might be a little bit too much too late as the laps are, like Tom had mentioned, winding down. Thanks again to Speedway Chevrolet right here in Monroe for getting behind this division. White flag out. The money lap for the 12 of Chad Fitzpatrick.
And if he can just navigate another half a lap, maybe the Mortland jinx is gone.
The curse is, well, I'm not going to say it just yet. But he'll take it out of turn number 4. And thank you, Chad, for making me look good. And congratulations.
And Mama Rochelle right now is jumping up and down.
As she should be. So we'll take it down to Kyler Hope. Thank you, Kyler, for being out here on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon and evening here, as we'll bring our top 3 up, and they will check out the Angel of the Winds podium with Kyler Hope.
Down here with Dario Redick in the newly wrapped 37. Looks pretty good out there. And you got 2 race wins on the year, come home third tonight. What more did you need to get those last 2 spots?
I just didn't quite have it for the lead, too. I'd like to thank D. Young Inc. for the new wrap. It looks amazing. I love it.
Who else do you need to thank for getting to the track every week? That 37 car looks awesome every week you come out.
Just my parents, family, the whole crew that came out here. We had so many people out here helping. It's amazing. The Lime in Kirkland. I love the tachos there, and Who's, they have tachos as well out in First and Snohomish. Entre Marketing, Lux Performance, Les Schwab Bothell, and J2 Racing. I couldn't do without all of them.
Dario Redick comes home third tonight. Down here with Tyson Lang, second place tonight. You led quite a few laps too, and how tricky was the track today with the changing conditions? Started out in the sun, ended in the shade.
It was pretty tricky. Yeah, that last race start, Chad got us, and just weren't able to catch him. Didn't have enough time, but clean race by him. It was fun racing him. So,
who do you need to thank for getting the 18 car to the track every week?
my mom and dad, Mark, Dustin, Joe, Uncle Wayne, and Jeff.
Tyson Lang comes home second place tonight. Down here with Chad Fitzpatrick, goes back to back. How does it feel to be back in Angel of the Winds victory lane?
It is awesome. It's been a long time since I've done back-to-back wins, so it's great to be back up here.
How were you able to get around Tyson Lang? He had a really strong car, and then on the restart, you're able to drive right around him. How were you able to do that?
Oh, it was hard. He had a really good car. I'm shocked to be up here. I mean, he was fast all day. I just must have had a good run coming out at 2 after that start, and that was pretty much it. But, gosh, he was really fun to race with him and Dario. That was a really good race.
Who do you need to thank for getting that 12 car here to the track?
I got to thank my sponsors, Northland Contractors, Mazda of Everett, Trademark RCS, Bardall, my aunt and uncle from Minnesota, and then I got to thank all my crew, my dad, my mom, Dave Edgar, everyone. I know I'm forgetting something. Oh, another sponsor, Rob Evans Race Design.
Chad Fitzpatrick goes back to back in the 12.
You know, Chad Fitzpatrick can put a clinic on how to do driver interviews and getting the sponsors mentioned always. And these guys are getting so much better at it. But keep an eye on that 12 car. 2 wins in a row. The hex is broken.
I think so.
So happy about
we'll
that.
see you till next week. But, man, you know, these young kids are just flat good.
Yes.
And right now some absolute excellent racing here at Evergreen Speedway, and it's going to be interesting to see you give them just a little bit of experience, maybe a little bit more money to make that thing go, and they're going to be really, really tough.
And don't forget, if you want to get behind Evergreen Speedway in 2020, we got lots of room left. Get a hold of the Speedway office during normal business hours, Monday through Friday. They'll be happy to put together any package that you need to have put together for you. And again, as we always do when we wrap these things up, we'll kind of show you a really cool back shot of all of the people that really make this place something special. We want to thank all of the folks at CW11, as always, for really working to put this show on the air. Thanks to Derek and Curtis for the job they do. Thank you, Tom, and we thank you for checking it out. Check them out, Evergreen Speedway, on Facebook, Twitter, any way you need to have it done, they can do it. So for Tom Glithero, I'm Steve Morton. We'll see you next week. Home Track Heroes.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on CW11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.